starting up everything a little bit slowly so that we can make sure. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. How's everyone doing? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. I don't know what that is, but give me a second. I'll let you in here if you're debating. No, there isn't any new wars. Oh, you sleep? You sleep? Huh? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. If you guys want to go ahead and double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here, would appreciate it. That would be swell. I do want to apologize. There was no morning live this morning. My internet was on the fritz. It's happened a few different times. So, I gotta upload those videos to YouTube here. Oh, what's going on, everyone? Hold on one second. I got someone in the requests. Just a second. And I'll let you in. All right, hold on. Ah! Okay. Hello? Zaf, what's going on? What's your take?
Okay, the war, what war are we talking about? We're talking about Israel and Iran. That's been going on since like what, 22? When
Yep.
Israel.
Well, we're more so talking about the United States action there.
They basically stopped the war, man.
Sorry, what?
Because he basically stopped the war. There's no more. Like, when's the last time missiles were fired?
Probably today. There's been.
Probably today, dude. You don't know?
I can check for you, but there is no ceasefire. Iran's confirmed. But, yeah.
That's not what I asked.
Okay. Right here, 20 hours ago, Iranian missile barrage strikes Israel after deadline. So, yeah, there's very much a war going on.
Yeah, it's been going on.
Right, but his involvement in it.
Okay, so we didn't start this war, right?
No, we did. Trump unilaterally made the decision to bomb nuclear sites.
It was already a war, dude.
Yeah, but Trump involved us. I don't know what's not making sense here.
Doesn't mean we started the war. Just because we get involved doesn't mean that we started a war.
He got involved in a war. I thought he said he didn't want wars.
He doesn't. That's why he stopped this one.
This one's still going. I just showed you. That's an absolute gaslight.
No, you're not. You're not. They're at a ceasefire right now. There are no missiles going on right now.
I just literally pulled up a news story in which missiles were going off.
What news story? By who?
So do you know what an original source is?
The Independent tried to put out that fake news too. So
what fake news? We have video of the footage of the rockets. Are you this delusional? For real?
Okay.
For real? Like, how are we gonna have any sort of? Dude, how are we gonna have any sort of?
You have no idea, dude. You have no idea what happened today. Cool. And guess what happened today? I just read
that off. So would Fox News be a good source? Who would be a good source?
Whoever knows, dude.
Who would be a good source? Who would you trust?
Whoever knows the truth.
Who would? Right here. This is from Fox News. Iranian missile hits Israel.
BBC. I would go to BBC, or probably I'll go to Al Jazeera. Go to Al Jazeera and see what they have to say about it.
Okay.
Or you could ask AI.
I just wanted a source that you would trust.
You can't trust any source, man. But
you can't. I mean, you can trust the video footage, and you know there's international reports on this.
We have no video footage of anything going off today. Okay. You're talking about the other day. You're conflating days just so you can act like you're fucking smarter than everybody. But no, dude, nothing happened today.
I just read the thing. Iranian, right here, 19 hours ago, Iranian missile strikes building in Israel. Right here, Al Jazeera.
The news story was 19 hours ago, right? Does this say when it happened?
I can pull it up. Hold on.
You're just, see, this is a problem with you people, dude.
The problem with you people, what? Is this guy okay?
Did you have to mute me, dude? Did you seriously
I
have to
didn't.
mute me?
I didn't mute
Seriously?
you.
Well, somebody did. I mean, you're the only person, it's
I
funny
didn't. I
how.
didn't mute you. Did the mods do that?
Right.
Can I get the
It's
mods in the
funny.
mod chat now? Did you mute yourself?
No, I didn't mute myself. See, here it goes. It's just like, let me just try to argue anything.
I'm not trying
Make
to
you
argue
look
with you. I'm
bad.
actually trying to figure out who muted.
Have you found anything yet today of any source of today? I've been keeping an eye out too. I even wrote a little poem about it to make sure that all three of them stop. This is a non-aggression pact.
This
You
is a
remember those?
shift, by the way. 1 second. This is a
A
shift, by the
shift?
way.
What?
Yeah, because the original argument was that we were in a war.
No, I said it was in a new war that we started. I mean, if any president exacerbated this, it was Biden when he didn't do anything about Gaza.
Biden did try to do stuff about Gaza.
Oh yeah, what did he do? Why did half the country fucking protest against him?
Have to
I mean,
protest against what?
Gaza
Who?
got.
Who? Can you stay on one topic, man? You're bouncing all over the place. This is hard to track, honestly.
Here it goes. Oh, that's not. I'm sorry, dude.
I
It's
don't want to
you.
deal with the gaslight. I'm just trying to have a conversation, and you're losing it. So I don't know what to tell you. We were talking about one thing. I was looking it up for you, and now you're bouncing off to talk about other stuff, which is
Well, I'm
fine.
waiting
But
for
it's
you to bring
fine.
up
It's
any.
fine. But you railroading the conversation is a problem.
Have you found anything yet, man?
Right here, Tehran endured a night of heavy attacks before the ceasefire. And I don't think the ceasefire is still going, by the way. I think it just ended. In the hours before the ceasefire, Israeli and Iran went into effect Tuesday morning. Tehran was pounded by the most intense and sustained airstrikes since the war started June 13th. This is surveillance footage right here.
I mean, you realize it would be all over the news if someone decided to get uppity.
This is the New York Times. I just told you that they were doing bombing yesterday. Like
Yesterday.
I said.
Okay. The Iranian FM said 4 a.m. Okay, they would stop at 4 a.m. Find something after 4 a.m. Find something that
Okay.
Israel did
And?
after the
Are you
Iran
seriously
retaliated.
suggesting that there's not, like, I just want to point out, you're seriously suggesting that there's not, like, ceasefires throughout this entire conflict at various different
There is.
points?
For the three people involved right now, the U.S.
There has been numerous different ceasefires.
What?
There has been numerous different ceasefires throughout this conflict between Iran and
Well,
between
right now
Israel.
we are at a ceasefire that I hope is the end.
The end of what?
This conflict between Israel and Iran.
You think that this ceasefire is going to be the end?
Well, I don't know if I hope. I said I hope. Okay. And so one of the things I want to see happening is that the Persians now take the mantle and take their country back.
Okay, but that didn't happen. There was an entire revolution, attempted revolution, what, a year ago? That didn't affect it 2 years ago?
Okay, so you don't support the Persians. Okay, so you don't support the Persians. Fine, you support the
what? What are you talking about, dude? This guy is lost. What are you talking about?
I don't know. It's not my problem that you can't think on my level, dude.
I'm sorry, I'd have to dumb it down, like fourth grade crayons, maybe chewing on licking glue. I'm gonna move on though. That was a complete waste of my time.
Oh, okay.
He just.
How's it going?
No, it's just not a usable debate. What's going on? Sorry, there was no morning
Hello?
live. My internet was
Zap,
fucking.
what's going on? What's your take?
Bouncing, not great.
Okay, then.
It's okay.
War
to the movies.
What war are we talking about? We're talking about Israel and Iran.
Now, but
that's been going on
bad,
since like what, 22?
What is this doing?
When Israel.
Is it showing up? I'm more so talking about the United States action.
Thought the guy was gonna slur out, so I muted him real quick.
It basically stopped the war, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's happening?
Because he basically stopped the war. There's no.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Is it playing the? How do I get rid of this? Oh.
What's going on?
I don't know. Something happened. I cannot get rid of. Okay, wait.
What are you doing, step
Oh,
bro?
what the hell? Okay, so I'm sorry, guys, over on YouTube. It imported the vertical clip, and it imported the other one, and then it played them on the thing. That's kind of nifty, though. I didn't know you could do that. That's kind of nifty. Okay. That was weird. That was different. I figured it out, though. What's going on, Jaden? How's your day going?
Pretty relaxing.
Oh, sweaty.
All things considered.
Yeah?
Yeah, honestly can't complain. It's been pretty nice. Having a pretty good year, in spite of all the chaos happening.
Yeah?
I just signed on to do a panel in July for San Diego Comic-Con, so I'm getting in there completely free. It's my first time going there, and I'm excited for that.
Christopher, appreciate the 5 over on Cash App. That was from yesterday, and I didn't see it.
Oh.
I think it was from yesterday morning. I don't think I saw it. But anyways, if you guys want to double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here. Let me go ahead and throw back up the chat. For those of you that don't know that are over on YouTube, I'm minimizing that chat so that I can get a recording. So whenever we go into debates, it's the easiest way for me to do it. So, ball washer, your dad's not here. What kind of balls are we washing? Tennis? Tennis?
That needs to be a scented candle if it's not already. Fresh tennis ball smell.
Yeah, congrats though, Jaden.
Yes. Thank you.
If you guys are over on TikTok, you guys want to go ahead and double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here. See if we can get some debates. If not, we're going to yap about the news. The ceasefire is still going on. It's holding no violations today. It ain't going to last very long, to be honest with you. Katie, appreciate for the 19 months. Oh, shit, 32 months subbed. 32 months. Katie, can we get some dubs for the 32 months? Plain White Socks, appreciate it for the 15 months. Damn, appreciate it. Thank you guys for the subs over on Twitch. I'll add those into the goal that I haven't updated. Set a goal for 30 subs today. 30 subs today. Am I forgetting something? No, I think I have everything good.
Yeah, polls just closed over in New York City. So that's going to be the tab that I'm going to be watching most closely tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna see if Zoran makes it through here. That fucking ghoul of a human being, Cuomo, has no reason running.
God,
there's no business running this thing. He
just
doesn't even seem to want to do this.
Just
no joy.
When did a war start other than the Biden? I just want to point out, right, really quick, because Republicans are trying to find a way to justify this, and it's not justifiable. And it is not justifiable from this strike perspective because they attacked Biden back in 2021 when he took office. He did a drone strike in Syria. And they berated him for it as being a warmonger. And the left did too, rightfully so. I did. But let's be consistent here.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but what I need from you guys, so here's the thing. If you guys can double tap the screen, see if we can get up to 50K likes, would appreciate it. See if we can get some people in here. See if we can get some debates. See if we can get some action. Nutcracker, appreciate it. Thank you. Trump is a genius threatening to attack historical cultural sites in Iran. That's a war crime, by the way. He knows that the Iranians won't find any of these in the U.S. to retaliate. Did he really threaten that, by the way? I haven't seen that. Didn't he do this back in 2020? He threatened it. Yeah. I remember, because that is a war crime. Nutcracker, appreciate the 5 over there. Thank you. Nutcracker, appreciate you as always. Some dubs and drumsticks in the chat. How much is APAC paying me?
What?
What?
You're not pro-Israel.
What the fuck? You're in the wrong channel, bud. You're in the wrong channel.
Who's this?
1 second. Hold on, Austin. Just give me 1 second.
After this, I made a very strange revelation I'm going to tell you about.
All right. Austin, what's going on? What is your take?
I'm not even sure why I was brought in. I just made a comment and somebody invited me.
What did you say?
I just commented,
What'd you
"Show me the
say?
new war." I said, "Show me the new war." We're not in a war.
We just bombed Iran.
Okay, but I mean, Trump bombed places all the time in his first damn tenure, and then Biden bombed people too.
That was
I
weird.
mean, every president dropped strikes. That's what that was. This isn't a war.
I would
Not-
say
not
that
a war.
the Republicans very clearly got upset with Biden when he did drone strikes throughout the Middle East at various different points, and they also love to point out that Obama did drone strikes. So I don't know how they're trying to do anything other than justify the behavior.
And I mean, I'd agree with you 100%. Like,
Okay.
To me, politics are a game, dude. I like it. I like watching it, but this is a fucking game. Like, every president does this, and the other side is just going to keep fucking whining and whatever. Like, it's not a new war, but
Sure. I don't disagree. However, have been very consistent about this for a very long time. I was not okay with Obama's drone strikes. It targeted U.S. nationals. I was not okay. And by the way, it was very, very reckless. The bombing of Libya, Biden when he bombed in Syria. Yeah. So I've been consistent about this. And just to point out, a new report came out today showing that we've maybe set them back a few months from doing the strike.
say that part one more time. I had a kid come in the background.
So
My background.
No, I will.
No, not your background. My background. My kid came out. I was like, oh, I was trying to shoo him away and listen to you at the same time.
You're good. Sorry, where was I? I got distracted by the joke.
Something about set them back.
It only set them back about 3 months total.
Iran, it set them back. I saw something where it was like a picture, and I didn't even know if it was like a real picture or anything, but like a bunch of trucks where they may have moved so-called uranium, whatever. I don't know.
Some 72
I'll go
hours
off of
before
what
the
I
strikes.
see, man. And what, like I said, it's a game to me. This is the new age MTV at this fucking point. Like, I'm just here for the ride.
Okay.
The only thing is there's no winners in this one.
Yeah.
No.
This is all bad.
Yeah, there's no way.
Trump has called this a war.
Like I said,
Okay,
I don't know
Trump,
why the
Trump
moderator invited me
Trump
in.
called
but
it a war. Okay, well, it seems like we're on, I don't know, relatively the same page. Jane, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Did you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, man. No, I don't. Like I said, I don't even know why they invited me in. I'm just
Okay.
listening.
No
There you go.
problem.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Somebody hang me up though, please, because I don't know how to do
Oh, I
this shit.
got you.
I got you.
So, about that revelation that I made, I was watching a 50-something minute deep dive on the failures of the 2003 Mike Myers Cat in the Hat movie. Hear me out. I found out that they shot that movie in my town. And now that I'm seeing it all, it's like, wow, this makes sense that this movie that I was obsessed with as a kid and is a total shit show now is right in my own back door, was shot right next door. And I never noticed that. But now it's like I can't unsee it, that this is where they shot that crap fest. It's interesting. So I want to go down that street and blog it and be like, this is where the cat wrecked his car in the movie or some shit. I don't know, but it's interesting.
That was
Bit
a
of movie
fever
history
dream.
there.
That whole movie was a
That it
fever,
was.
fever dream. I read
Yeah.
Case in the book. He loved the book. Loved the book. And then I showed the movie like 10 minutes in. He's like,
Oh, terrible.
can we watch something else? I was like, yeah, I don't blame you. This is weirder. This is weirder than I remember. Honestly, if a 4-year-old's like, yeah, this is not. I don't know if we should watch this. This is weird. I'm gonna be like,
No,
yeah,
it's a bad movie.
yeah. Yeah,
You
you're
know,
wrong.
the cat gets smacked in the balls with a bat, and his
I know,
hat gets
it's
a
like-
boner, and they go to a club underground and
Dirty
shit.
hoe.
You know, just as Dr. Seuss had imagined.
Yeah, that's really what he first saw. I mean, I don't know what Dr. Seuss was on when he wrote that, but the screenwriters of the movie, they were like, watch this, you know?
It almost
They
got
were
a
like,
PG
watch
13
this.
rating, which frankly it
Yeah.
deserves.
Yeah. Yeah, it's up there.
Raunchy as hell.
Which is weird, right? That they made it a PG-13 movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like they
They
tried to
almost did.
accommodate Mike Myers. And
Yeah.
that, like, to his humor.
Well, that's what happened. He rewrote the whole thing and added all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird movie. It's a weird movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, but if you guys, we still need to get to 50K likes. So if you guys want to double tap the screen, help get some people in here, would appreciate it. U.S. bombs did not destroy Iran's nuclear sites, early intel suggests. I wanted to talk about some news stories so we can get those up over there. I'm sorry for the morning live, by the way. There's a couple of stories that I want to cover. The morning live, by the way, the internet was dropping in and out. So I couldn't do anything. It was like, I think it was like a 25 megabytes per second. I think I need like 80 to be able to stream in 1080p. So it's just going to be like, so, you know, we got Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second to let Luke in here.
My son?
By the way, really done some work over on YouTube and getting clips ready and everything like that. So I have like a week's worth of debates out. Luke, what is going on? What's your take?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
Yeah, so with the what happened to no new wars, I feel like Donald Trump, in his best interest, is not trying to start any new wars, but I feel like he's being blackmailed by a certain demographic, and I feel like any president would have been doing these new wars because they have no choice. And I feel
Are you
like
talking
America's
about Jewish people?
No, I'm not. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about any religion. No.
Okay.
I'm talking about a foreign aid. I'm talking about APAC. Let's just keep it real.
Jewish people, yeah.
I mean, APAC is in control of our congressmen, and they have compromising videos of our politicians. So I feel like getting rid of them would probably be in our best interest.
Yeah, get rid of foreign lobbying.
Would you agree on that, or are you too scared to talk about this topic? I feel like
Did you hear what I just said?
No, I think we should get rid of foreign lobbying. I've been actually thinking about, like, you know, I don't really think... you know, it's a weird mixture because I'm not really convinced that AIPAC has that much control. Like, you could say, like, the state of Israel might have dirt on politicians, whatever, and persuade them. But I think by and large, like, most of the representatives in Congress agree with Israel because there's a religious aspect, there's an aspect of, like, national interest, even their constituents want it. So I'm not, like, convinced that this money is helping them. I think that the money is just sort of like, yeah, thanks. You know what I mean?
I'm saying, like, yeah, I agree with you on that point. I'm saying, like, any politician, regardless if it's Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, Sleepy Joe Biden, it doesn't really matter. They have compromised videos of everyone, right? So it's we're in a sticky situation. If you really do care about America, we have to get rid of them.
That wouldn't dissuade you from voting one way or another, though, even if they didn't have that money.
No, but I'm saying, is your option saying that we should have voted possibly Kamala Harris? Is that what you're trying to say?
Harris would have been better in this regard.
But they probably have Harris and a little child as well. So
And a little child as well. Based on what, man? Also, that's not you in your picture. So what are you hiding?
I'm not hiding anything.
Okay, turn your camera on.
Why you? That's what I mean. Like, you guys always want to protect. You guys always want to protect.
You. Listen here, little bitch. That ain't you.
You guys always want to protect Israel.
Who are you hiding? Is there a kid in the room?
Dude, you're a homosexual. Let me talk to the other guy.
Hey, keep your dad out of it.
Can I talk to Dude?
Nah.
I get fit.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
He's interested, isn't he?
How do I get pinned for fucking stuff from the algorithm? And that guy just can, like, keep making accounts. Anyways, we're over on YouTube. If you guys want to support the channel, there is a Venmo Cash App in the bio. We have a 30 sub goal on the day. I think that's updated, right? Yeah, we have a 30 sub goal on the day for the nightlife. Would appreciate it. You could sub gifts across any platform. If you sub over on TikTok, it's 2. I'm bouncing between a couple accounts on TikTok, so you might have to switch it out next month. But I do appreciate it. I'm trying to figure that out and get this put into an agency so that it's relatively protected. But yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, there's a Venmo Cash App in the bio. You can also join the Patreon where you can watch the playbacks, tier 2 over on YouTube. Go watch some YouTube videos even. Lydia, appreciate the 5 gifted. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for the 5 gifted and the 19 months subbed? That's going to be 6, 8. Lydia, appreciate it. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat? Appreciate it, Lydia. Thank you for the 5. All right. Do we have anybody that wants to debate? Go ahead and hop in the box. By the way, helping sub, even if you don't want to sub on this account, which I would appreciate, you guys can also... Why is there no other goal?
Don't know.
Oh, there we go. You guys can help out with the gift goals or coin goals and help send it out on the For You page. I was going to bounce back up on the other account, but what was already over here. So I was like, yeah, if I got to start go live. So we're here. But yeah, if you guys want to support, please go join the Patreon or go over on YouTube. Marie, appreciate it for the membership. Thank you. Could we get some dubs for Marie? Appreciate it. We got 9 on the night. Appreciate it, Maria. Or Marie, sorry. What was I going to say? Oh, I had some news stuff.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, I got the stories up here. I'm following this Democratic primary. 70% of the vote is in. Mamdani is up 8 points or so, 8.1 percentage points over Cuomo. He's going to take this thing. He's going to win. It's looking very promising.
I had 2 stories that I wanted to go over, but I do want to... Oh, did I not stop the recording? Oh, okay, I didn't press the button. I deleted the things. All right, we have 2 stories that I want to talk about. I think one of them I'll record, so this one I'll record, the next one I won't, because it's not going to be as long.
Go ahead.
Now, Jaden, do you remember that we were talking about my fear that the United States was going to endure a terrorist attack because of the incompetent people that were being put in place, the maneuvers that they were making with agencies and getting people out, and the lack of funding or the removal of funding, right? We talked about this pretty extensively. As it would turn out, this is according to 4 different sources, and who reported on this? It was on MSM, and I'm not sure who reported on it originally. By Ken Dillanian? Okay. Anyway, so the FBI took agents from their field offices where they were doing counterterrorism work and moved them to immigration. Then we're like, oh, there's issues with Iran and potential attacks that could happen in the United States. Now we're going to move them back. So the Trump administration, for the last 5 so months or whatever, has delegated resources away from stopping terrorist attacks to picking up people working on farms. What? Even if you're MAGA in this situation, how do you justify that? Like, you may want migrants to get, arrested or whatever, or removed from the country, but how can you be like, yeah, this is a good idea that we're going to sacrifice, our national security and the potentiality for a terrorist attack so that we can go pick up some people working on buildings or on a farm? I've talked about this being a real problem for a very long time. It's very clear to me that this is just the maneuver of the Trump administration and their recklessness. I mean, this is reckless. There's no real way to justify this. I've talked pretty extensively on this channel about what happened in the run-up to 9/11 and the communication issues that happened and the issues that happened surrounding it wasn't even that there was a communication breakdown, just nobody was looking, right? And so we're put in another situation where there aren't people looking or there aren't people following through. Should we be surprised that there wasn't an attack of any severity? I kinda, yeah. And it wouldn't surprise me if it picks back up. But the fact that you sacrifice national security, people's lives, to deport people should tell you something about this administration's recklessness. I don't know how you could justify that as MAGA. I'm sure they will. Sorry,
They
go
always
ahead,
find a
Jaden.
way. Yep,
What are
they
your
always
thoughts on it,
find a way.
Jaden?
Well, I'm frankly just not surprised at the incompetence leading into this. And, this is the word that I use commonly about this administration is short-sightedness and the inability to look forward into the future and how their policies today impact them sometimes within weeks or months or in the next year or years down the line. So I'm not surprised.
Right. And I mean, the sad part is in the day of America that we live in, like, this would be big news if Biden or Obama or any other president pulled resources from national security and from protecting Americans to taking out migrants. And now it's just commonplace. We're just like, and this is the level of this is the level of manipulation that we've gone through where this story would be huge. It would be huge. And in the event that there was an attack during this time period and Biden had done it, MAGA would have lost their mind. He pulled resources. Do they say anything? No. Right?
No, but
No, they don't.
at least
they
we have a
even...
22-year-old grocery bagger leading the counterterrorism effort. Don't you feel
That's
safe?
the other thing, too. Yeah, the 22-year-old counterterrorism expert that was bagging groceries 6 months ago that just graduated college. And I don't even think he went to college for any... I think it was like... Wasn't it like political science? It was something
Probably.
like general like that. Like you should not have been in this position. But this is the problem. You put in yes men, you put in people that are incompetent, and you make stupid decisions and bad things happen. I think at this point we can say we got really lucky over the last 5 months. I don't know how many people they've rerouted, but certainly I don't know why you would reroute any. That doesn't make any sense to me. MAGA justifies it. Even when you point this stuff out to them, like when you're talking about, the train derailment in Ohio and the fact that, Trump got rid of regulations protecting that from happening, or when he got rid of the pandemic preparedness response team. And I understand that there's a lot of nuance around that, and like whether or not it mattered, I don't know, but the fact that he did it was like unnecessary, right? But you see these other things where it's like he did this and this happened, and then they're just like, no, it's okay, it's all right. He told, like, it's just the lack of accountability is actually crazy. It's not something that exists on the Democratic side. Biden's been called out for the stuff that he does on this channel and by other leftists a lot, and it's not something that's shared. And this is a big thing. This is not a little thing. I think we just got lucky. I think that's what it comes down to, is that we just got lucky over this last 5 months.
Yeah. But luck only can last so long, especially within this administration. Their inability to see how policies that they enact today or undo today affects people tomorrow is going to be to their detriment. And, as you said earlier, it extends further past that with the vaccine committee that RFK appointed, all of them being anti-vaxxers is going to harm people. Undoing EPA regulations on things like asbestos is going to kill more people. There's actually a report a few days ago, I think it's from the Congressional Budget Office, I could be wrong, but pegged the numbers at being about 51,000 additional premature deaths as a result of their current budget plan. So these are people who fundamentally don't care about the outcomes that they have for their policy, regardless of how many people it injures. Shall we go through the story?
Yeah. Do you want to do it? We'll do a test. Do you want to do a test video?
Yeah. How do you want to do this?
We can just do. Let me get this. Okay. There's actually one more story that I wanted to talk about really quick that we don't need to record. I don't know if you had it in your roundup. It was the immigrants not immigrants, but the kids in Texas that were having their school lunches taken away. Did you see that?
Got that story, yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can just. I'm gonna press the record, and you remember what we talked about, like just trying to go one story at a time and just see if we can get a full blown news roundup for uh, YouTube in like I don't know, less than 20 or 30 minutes. Probably like
Yeah,
20.
yeah, that works.
Yeah, we just yap. So,
Okay. Do you want time in
all
between
right.
each story to talk about them, or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, yeah. 1 second.
All
I'm
right.
gonna hit the record button, and then I'll just. Yeah. Okay. All right, Jaden, you got the news for us?
That I do. We've got about 7 or 8 leading stories of the day here, starting off with the state of Texas. Governor Greg Abbott vetoes funding for federal summer lunch program for low-income children. Abbott cited uncertainty over federal funding of the program as his reason for rejecting the state's participation. Greg Abbott has vetoed a $60 million budget measure that would have allowed Texas to enter a federal summer lunch program for low-income children. The Summer Electronic Benefits Transfer, or Summer EBT program, would have given qualified families $120 per child to pay for lunches during the summer months in 2027. An estimated 3.75 million children statewide would have qualified. Let's unpack this. Unpack this like a school lunch, shall we?
So the funny part is one of the first lines you mentioned where he said uncertainty over federal funds. Basically what he's saying is we're not going to give $60 million to kids for their school lunches because we're not sure if the Republican administration is going to remove our funding. That's crazy. So you're not giving them anything, and the reason you're not giving them anything is because of Trump. But the party, I mean, they protect all the kids, right? They want to make sure all the kids, and a lot of these do target low income families, by the way. So they're the ones that are going to be most affected. And I don't have the stats off the top of my head, but it's a pretty sizable amount of the U.S. Childhood population. This is like their main meal, or this is one of their big meals of the day.
Yeah, school lunches. And there's a multitude of studies that we can draw from that can indicate the fact that when children go hungry during the day, their educational output is worsened. They can't focus. And, I certainly remember times when all I could think about was, when's the next meal going to come? My stomach's rumbling. I cannot focus on this arithmetic right here because I don't know what the future looks like. And for that to be the case for millions of children throughout Texas during the summer, of which that is not a stable source of food, is concerning to me. And I think when they come back to school, many of them may be malnourished. Many of them may still face that lack of concentration. Many of them may very well see worsening educational outcomes as a result.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why we're not. Why haven't we funded this as a country? We gave $3 trillion in tax breaks away to the billionaires, and we can't reduce it down a little bit to give kids school lunches in this country. Crazy to me. And I just want to point out, from a larger perspective, it's not only just the humanistic aspect of feeding kids. We want people to be as successful as possible. We are in the world right now. The perspective is we are vying for dominance over a country with 1.8 billion people and other emerging countries with similar populations to America, and we're not funding our talent in this country. We're not ensuring that they get food, that they're able, because it does go to test scores, period. And this is their main meal of the day. We should be encouraging this. We should want people to be intelligent. We should want people to be educated. We should want people to, be able to go and do their aspirations in the academic field because it's going to make us better as a country. For some reason, despite having a really robust infrastructure to do so, we don't fund that. So anyway, next story. We can.
Yes, here we go here. Let's see what we've got. This was actually quite funny to me, and we can have a good laugh over this, perhaps. Man denied U.S. entry over border agents discover bald J.D. Vance meme on his phone. Sparks outrage. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement's stringent procedures have once again come under scanner as a young traveler from Norway claimed that ICE personnel harassed him and eventually he was detained entry to the USA. The reason that the 21-year-old cites was that he kept a bald meme photo of U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance on his phone. The tourist named Mads Mikkelsen claimed that he was harassed at Newark Airport in New Jersey on June 11th. He was visiting the U.S. to see friends in New York and Austin, Texas, as per report from Nordly's. He said that the officers interrogated him at a separate room full of guards. He also had to show them backpack, mobile phone, and shoes, as per report on Nordly's. Certainly comes at a point of irony that Vance went to the UK and visited other European nations to decry their approach to free speech. And now one who is visiting the United States is being detained and harassed because of his version of free speech, which is an image of Vance bald-headed Cabbage Patch style.
I just want to point out, I'm not laughing at the fact that he was detained and not allowed in the country. That's obviously horrible. What makes it funny for me, really, is how triggered the border agents had to have been. Just full, to see, like some super MAGA. He's got his LARP gear all on. You know what I mean? He's got his Trump hat, a flag as a cape. He's running around. No,
oh
no, we can't have this. No, not my president.
Absolutely not.
Not my president. That's the comedic part, not the fact that he was, is that I just imagine the border agents just being triggered. Like the fact that you have to get to that point where they're just like, no, you got to be a fragile person, because I'm going to be real. If someone took that meme, so I don't know if have you seen the meme?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the meme is, it's like just, it's obviously like bald-headed Cabbage Patch J.D. Vance. I don't know if you guys have seen it. If you haven't, you can look it up. It's literally everywhere. But if they took that and put that to Biden, I would probably laugh. People being denied entry to the country, you gotta be real triggered. real triggered. I don't know if you have more to add to that.
Thin-skinned response there. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to move on to the next one, but that's all I got to add.
So this is a Supreme Court ruling here. The Supreme Court eases rapid deportation to countries where immigrants have no ties. The High Court's majority offered no explanation for its ruling. Supreme Court on Monday cleared the way for the Trump administration to swiftly deport foreigners to countries where they have no previous ties. The justices lifted an order from a federal judge in Boston who had placed restrictions on the deportation of those countries. U.S. District Judge Brian Murphy had issued a nationwide injunction that required the administration to give immigrants meaningful advance notice and a chance to raise objections before they are sent to so-called third world countries, nations not specified in their original deportation orders. But the Supreme Court granted the Trump administration's emergency request to put Murphy's injunction on hold. Fire up the deportation planes, Tricia McLaughlin, a spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security, said in a statement celebrating its ruling. High Court's majority offered no explanation for its ruling, but all three of the court's liberal justices dissented. Writing for the Liberals, Justice Sonia Sotomayor called the ruling a, quote, abuse of the court's power that amounted to, quote, reckless lawlessness on the part of the administration. I can't see any good reason behind this.
There isn't one. That's the move. It's ideologically bound, and that's obvious to literally everyone. But they pick and choose their battles. This is one that they've picked and choose, and they've gone with it. Ultimately, the Supreme Court is worried about legitimacy, but they're going to try and push the envelope with stuff that they think they can get away with. On immigration, they think they can get away with it. And we see on other things that they don't, that they back off. But this is pretty typical maneuvers of the Supreme Court. I expect more of them. I don't think that they've done a good enough job reining in Trump. I feel like they have done some job reining in Trump, just where they think it's going to create some sort of constitutional issue. And that really is the question. Like, if there's a constitutional issue that's going to inevitably come up from this, I think it really matters, like, how, ideological the question is. They're going to side with whatever ideological goal. If there's not going to be this immense constitutional issue that comes up, or something that they don't think that they can get out of, by just making up some bullshit like they always do, then they're going to go ahead and do it. So,
Yeah, and never mind the fact that this has very clearly opened up a wave of humanitarian issues in the countries of which these people are being deported to without any sense of due process, without any sense of backing. There is prejudice that exists in these other nations against people of certain ethnic groups, of people with certain religious backgrounds, who will not be treated in good terms should they be deported there. But this administration pays no mind to that, and it goes to show the lack of decency, just basic human decency that they have for people who simply look different from them.
yeah, because you notice they ain't trying to deport Elon.
Yeah, notice that.
So, just to point
We
out.
got some more migrant-related stories here. ICE has deported dozens of U.S. citizens, report says. Amid the ongoing immigration raid in Southern California and elsewhere, some American citizens have been rounded up, prompting criticism of federal agents. According to a report, though, American citizens like Job Garcia have been detained by federal agents, including Immigration and Customs Enforcement, hundreds of times, even before this recent uptick, with dozens of them deported out of the United States. Citing a government report, Migrant Insider revealed that at least 70 citizens were deported by ICE between 2015 and 2020, with hundreds more detained or arrested. The Government Accountability Office said that in that period, ICE agents arrested 674 potential U.S. citizens, detained 120, and deported 70, though Migrant Insider noted that the actual number could be much higher. ICE does not know the extent to which its officers are taking enforcement actions against individuals who could be U.S. citizens, the GAO said.
I just have a question.
Hmm.
Where are they deporting them to?
That's a good question.
Because like if you're someone that like I get it, like this is the problem with ICE, right? Is like there's a lot of people that just don't have the documentation, right? They just don't have it. A lot of people lose it. They move, whatever. Where are they sending them to though, right? Because if they're picked up by ICE, they don't have any of this documentation, and they're an American citizen. Where are they getting? What are they just like? Where are you from? They're like, America? You're not from there. Did they just pick a destination? I think that would be a good follow-up for that. That's a bit... Yeah, that's a bit confusing.
I guess whichever nation looks brown enough to them, they send them to.
I guess. They just pick and choose, it sounds like. So...
Let's see what else we've got here. Yes. Let's see. Another deportation story among us. Purple Heart Army veteran self-deports after nearly 50 years in the United States. For 55-year-old U.S. Army veteran Sejun Park, this was the hardest moment in his life. Not getting shot in combat, not the years battling post-traumatic stress disorder or addiction, not prison. It was leaving the United States, a country he called home for nearly 5 decades. On Monday, Park, a green card holder, self-deported to South Korea. His removal order was the result of charges related to smug possession and failure to appear in court for over 15 years ago, offenses that he said stemmed from years of untreated PTSD. Park's story reflects both the challenges of life after combat and the perils that non-citizen veterans face if caught in the legal system. Realities made harsher amid the Trump administration's push for record deportations. The fact that there's not an extra degree of credence and protection applied towards migrants, undocumented migrants or what have you, that served in our military and that is legal to do, is startling to me. That even if you lay your life on the line for this country, regardless of your status, you yourself are subject to the same deportations happening to people who didn't serve.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a video on TikTok yesterday or today. It was basically this kid, 20 maybe, was obviously distraught. Caption said his parents were being deported, which tracks. Not sure to the validity of it, but for a fact that some U.S. citizen military personnel are going through it. So there's that. But I also remember the Trump administration, his last time around, he deported people that were in the U.S. military that were enlisted, that were fighting for us. took away their citizenship ability. Like what? The person comes here, puts their life on the line to defend America, and then we ship them off. We get rid of them.
Yeah.
In this
Why aren't they
instance of
rewarded
this,
with citizenship?
I mean, it seems like a pretty simple thing. Like clearly, not everyone's trying to come here
No-brainer.
to fight for America.
Right.
But you know, we have seen the self-deport today. We have seen this happen where people are leaving America. I'm not sure to all of his reasons, rationales, or I'm not sure to all of them, but people are very concerned, and I think the larger picture is how they're being treated. Right? There's a very demonizing tone. There has been a very demonizing tone, and they continue to attack people just for being immigrants. Doesn't matter what they've done for the country, just that they're immigrants. That's disgusting. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you are MAGA, have some goddamn self-respect and recognize that's not okay. It's really not. Like, there's no argument that we should have here. It's, we gotta find a name for that. But there's nothing to argue here. If you think that, you're just morally bankrupt. Especially if you're a non-veteran. Can you imagine Trump, a non-veteran, bone spurs, dodge drafting, draft dodging, like he's deporting people that fought for our country that are undocumented. The unmitigated
And you would think
gall.
there'd be some line of defense from MAGA to say, hey, no, wait a second. This guy did more than my fucking Cheeto guzzling ass ever did. Keep him here. But no.
No.
We've got another story here. This one is tangentially related to the migration struggle here. In interviews with the Washington Post, multiple farmers expressed their dismay with the loss of farm workers under Donald Trump's harsh immigration policies and his administration's waffling on subsidies. In a deep dive focusing on one farmer who voted for Trump, 36-year-old J.J. Fick of Kirk, Colorado, the Washington Post is reporting that he, along with other farmers, are facing possible ruination now that the roundup of immigrants have begun in earnest and promised help is uncertain. The federal government has promised JJ a $200,000 grant spread across 2 years to cover the cost of seasonal farmhand work from Latin America. In a place where local legal help was nearly impossible to keep, the Post is reporting before adding, but then Trump, in the earliest days of his second term, threatened to break tens of thousands of those deals, suspending billions in agricultural funding and decimating the staffs that managed it. Swept up in the freeze was JJ and the $50 million grant program he'd signed up for, along with the 140 other farmers across the country. Now those farmers, many of whom supported the president, are being left to scramble for workers, of which there are few to choose from, and are worried about the future. Noting, JJ had joined 81% of Yuma County's voters in supporting Trump, whom he considered the better of two bad options, the report added. JJ's grant was frozen in late January as top administrators considered whether to cancel it. Over the next 2 months, more than 20 farmers requested $4 million owed to them, according to documents reviewed by the Post. None were paid. Essentially, these farmers are left without any sense of help. Financially, work-wise, they're scrambling right now on deals that have been retracted as a result of the crackdown for migrant labor in their farms. And additionally, they cannot find people to supplement that labor. They're finding what they have found are people who are quitting prematurely, people who are not showing up on time, people who are complaining about their rates of pay, not doing the jobs that apparently migrants were stealing from them. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? People didn't move across the country to go work on a farm? That's wild.
Yeah, I thought that was your dream,
I can't believe that. That's the most shocking thing I've literally ever heard.
Yes.
We did watch this with Doge, though, where Trump did this thing where he started cutting off subsidies that he'd given out to farmers. We covered one guy on the channel that it had to do with drain pipes, and he had the work scheduled out for the next week, and the Trump administration cut $300,000 that they were gonna that was given to him under the Biden administration for the Inflation Reduction Act, and he's like sitting there trying to figure out what's happening. He's just like, I don't understand. And he's still to this day won't come to terms with the fact that he voted for this. or at least that he was lied to or could have been lied to by this guy. I'm not sure what his stance on the farm thing was, but yes, we've watched it happen. The Trump administration not only has done that, they have in this instance targeted migrant labor through the subsidies that are coming through. I have watched as literal sources that I used to pull off from the DOJ website about immigration crime statistics have been removed. They've purged databases, purged government websites, literally getting rid of anything that they could consider to be problematic, which in a world of free speech and, wanting people to have access to information, they sure don't. But it doesn't surprise me. Farming is the most subsidized industry in America for a reason, because we have to feed people. And when you start messing with that, you're going to have negative outcomes, negative consequences. It may not be a super substantial drop off, but you can believe that prices are going to increase. Prices are absolutely going to increase to cover the cost of having to, of not pulling enough out of the field, and to have to find, workers that charge more if you can find them. So,
yeah. And let's see here, my computer's freezing right now, but there was another story that I wanted to cover here.
Get it a blanket.
Yeah, I know. There we go. I think it it just got through here. We have 2 more stories left. A senior Ukrainian lawmaker who nominated U.S. President Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize has withdrawn it, as peace talks between Kyiv and Moscow slip under the radar, and the president keeps his sights fixed on the Middle East. Alexander Meresko, the head of Ukraine's Parliamentary Foreign Committee, told Newsweek on Tuesday that he had, quote, lost any sort of faith and belief in Trump and his ability to secure a ceasefire between Moscow and Kyiv. Meresko originally nominated Trump for the Peace Prize in November, but said he submitted his nomination withdrawal on Monday morning. Trump returned to the White House in January, pledging to end Europe's largest land conflict since World War II in just 24 hours. But as the weeks and months dragged on, optimism for a quick deal evaporated, and the Republican, a self-styled peacemaker-in-chief, grew overtly frustrated with the glacial pace of progress. Are we surprised, though? Are we truly surprised?
No.
I'm not.
No.
Yeah,
he doesn't deserve a peace prize. I don't think any
not at
president
all.
does, to be honest with you. So, yeah, that's it. That's
Not
it.
at all.
Well, now they can't say that he was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. I think there's one more guy that nominated him, but that is a funny story, because you remember that we debated that a lot. I don't know. It was years ago when it happened, but we debated it a lot, and they were just like, yeah, I was not, and we had to explain the nomination process to them. Like, literally I could be nominated. Is there anyone out there that could nominate me for a Nobel Peace Prize?
Well, I suppose. Those mom jokes have kept us at bay.
They have.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have. I don't have anything on that story. He doesn't deserve a Peace Prize. So
I got 2 more stories here real quick. Virginia man pleads guilty to pew-pewing Latino men he thought were illegal immigrants. A Virginia man pleaded guilty on Wednesday to pursuing and ultimately pew-pewing 2 Latino men because of his anger at illegal immigration. On Wednesday, June 18th, Douglas W. Cornett pleaded guilty to 2 counts of federal hate crimes involving attempts to kill and 1 count of discharging a firearm during a federal crime of violence. Are we not surprised that this is the result of the rhetoric? Right. This happened before. This happened before with the Asian hate crime spikes that happened in 2020 and any other demographic of people he targeted. We saw spikes in anti-Muslim sentiments during his initial Muslim ban and the talk around that. So naturally, violence follows wherever Donald Trump's rhetoric and bullhorn effect leads it to. They don't give a shit about who's legal. It's just who's brown.
I mean, yeah, it's disgusting, the whole story. It doesn't surprise me. You run into like a statistic, right? Of like, there's a statistical problem here, right? Which is, it's similar to stochastic terrorism, right? But it is it's that similar idea, right? Where you have an entire group in the population, and statistically speaking, out of that, 1 person, 2 people will do terrorist acts. There is no way really, I mean, you can catch them, but there's no way really to identify them in the population about which and who's going to do it. Very similar thing. I know this as a content creator that I am very aware of what I say and how it could be taken in a negative context. I literally think about it all the time and how people could construe it, right? I think about that a lot. So the fact that people with tens of millions of followers, people the most known names on the globe, are using this rhetoric, yes, you're pulling from a larger pool. If I speak to 500,000 people and say I say something off key that could provoke someone to do something, right? There's a smaller pool, just a hypothetical. I say something that's a call to action or whatever, right? Or I say something about X, Y, Z group. There's a smaller pool. But if you have this enormous pool, 50 million, 100 million people following you, out of that pool, there's going to be more people that are likely to do that or potentially could do that or will do that. And so the fact that the Trump administration and these guys run around and say this, and we watch these heinous acts happen, they take no accountability for them. They move on. MAGA praises that it happens usually. In this instance, I'm surprised they haven't. Probably we'll see the videos or the videos of them defending it. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, we just run into this really gross version of the world where people have complete lack of empathy and no humanity for people, where self-defense and nationalism supersede people's lives, and not even for a justifiable reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And here's a story from the Leopards Ate My Face party. Florida Republican Representative Kat Cammack has revealed that she almost died last year as a result of the state's 6-week abortion ban, which left the hospital staff reluctant to treat her ectopic pregnancy for fear of criminal prosecution. This was because the state's 6-week ban had come into effect at the start of that month, causing staff to fear they could lose their medical licenses and be sent to jail if they gave her the drug which blocks the flow of folic acid to the embryo to prevent its growth. Cammack was only 5 weeks pregnant at the time, and the embryo had no heartbeat, and her own safety was in jeopardy. But nevertheless, the Congresswoman found herself forced to pull up the letter of the law on her phone to argue the case, and even put it in a call to Governor DeSantis without being able to reach him, before staff relented and came to her aid. Florida regulators have since issued new guidelines to clarify the situation, and Cammack, who is pro-life and opposes abortion except in the case of rape and incest, or when the mother's life is at risk, is pregnant again and is due in August. But surprisingly, given her ordeal, the representative doesn't feel the law itself is at fault, and instead blames Democrats for scaring medical professionals into confusion over their responsibilities. Quote, "It was absolute fear-mongering at its worst," Cammack told the Journal, while acknowledging that the reproductive rights activists might draw the opposite conclusion from her story. Quote, "There will be some comments like, well, thank God we have abortion services, even though what I went through wasn't an abortion." Except, yes, it was. Medically, it was. This is the Leopards Ate My Face party. You didn't think you'd have to run into the problem of having to consult the law, the governor, as it relates to your abortion case until it happens to you. Until you need a life-saving abortion, until it's your life under jeopardy. And still, it's the advocates who advocated for your autonomy and safety and ease of access for this procedure. Somehow they're at fault for this? Give me a break. Shut up.
I remember this story about this anti-abortion activist that was he was a congressional member, and he was super anti-abortion. Guess what he did? Paid for his mistress to get an abortion, and we see it literally all the time. Literally all the time. So that concludes the news?
I think we can make an early projection that Zohran Mamdani has won the Democratic primary for New York mayor here.
Okay.
89% of the vote in. He's at 43.5 to Cuomo's 36.3. No room to really make up that deficit with the last 10% of the vote outstanding. Seems he's won this thing.
I'm going to be real.
Good for him.
Cuomo just looks like an old creepy dude that talks about tits too much.
What do you mean looks like?
There's one more story I wanted to get on before we go. And it was the one we talked about in the other video, which was the FBI was rerouted. Just briefly, the FBI was rerouted to go and work on immigration and pulling people out of the country, and then had to be sent back. Why? Because they were the counterterrorism workers for the U.S. And they were tracking counterterrorism. and the Trump administration pulled them off to deal with immigration. Said, "Oh, Iran, sleeper cells, whatever, move them back." You can check out the other video if you want the full thing, but it's just the Trump administration putting people in this degree of jeopardy is disturbing. You should be against this. It would be like if we're gonna pull out all the cops in all the cities to deal with. I mean, I don't know how many they pulled. They didn't specify, but like we're gonna pull out cops from dealing with crime to go and do something that's, meaningless. It's not really making that much of a difference. So, anyways, that's the news for the day, and
that's it.
I think that we should probably back it to.
You want less stories?
I think maybe wait. Which one's this one?
I did misspeak here. It seems as though he's going off to the second round of voting here, so he hasn't won officially. But it's going to boil down to, what is it? The top 2 candidates?
Yeah.
Yep.
And some cities and states do it by they can be either or, Democrat or Republican. But no, I think that maybe we do like a few big stories, and I was thinking like maybe 5, or we could do like a rundown of this, just what happened. Like we could do like 3 major stories, and then like this is the rest of the news. What was in that one, by the way? Just for the thumb, the title. Like just 2 or 3 of the stories, the major ones.
Let's see. I already closed out then. There's the ectopic pregnancy Republican. There was the Nobel Peace Prize and Texas school lunches.
1 second.
And deportation to other countries.
Let's do this one. Is Abbott with 2 T's?
Abbott, yeah. Cool. And 2 B's, too. He's a double bitch.
Yeah, he is a trifling one.
Yeah. And he's ugly.
I think it's really disgusting. I think it's really disgusting. I posted a video about Abbott and how that razor wire has trapped numerous different kids under it, cost lives, because he's putting resources that don't deal with the real like that there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unnecessary, by the way, because they have it blocked off. It's completely unnecessary. They're just kids trying to cross, and they drown. And I had in this video numerous different people justify and be like, oh, good. Yeah, good. That's happened. And it's like, you're sick. And it was like endless the amount of people that said that. I don't know how you could honestly say you believe in God and, all this other shit and then go to that. So.
I was actually making a rundown
really,
of anti-Christian things and beliefs that they do, and that was one of them.
Yeah. Cheering when
kids
drown in the Rio Grande. Yep. That kid was any kids are wearing a Biden hat that just fucking.
Mm-hmm.
They would literally justify it. Nutcracker, appreciate the 5. Sorry, I went to go start that video and then saw it. I want to come back to it. Nutcracker, appreciate the 5. Mega being ignorant isn't their fault. They didn't go to school because they are scared of. Wait, they didn't go to school because they were scared of being shot. It's crazy.
No.
Nutcracker, appreciate it. TTS go wild on that. By the way, we do have a 30 sub goal. We're at 9 on the night. If you guys want to sub over onto TikTok to support the channel, help get it out on the For You page. I'll get the stickers added in there for you guys tonight. We're over here for right now. You guys can sub over there or gift subs if you want. And I'm probably going to bounce back to the other account for now until I figure out which one is going to get monetized. I hope it's this one. I don't know, though. So we'll have to see. But yeah, if you guys want to support, there's a Venmo Cash App in the bio. You can check that out, support. You guys can super chat. or sub on any one of the platforms. And on TikTok, the subs over there are 2 for purposes of the sub goal. So we got 9 out of 30. If you guys want to do that, would appreciate it. I am going to try and do something for people over on YouTube in a minute here, probably like 15 or so. So if we could hit that sub goal now, that'd be great, because the idea that I have is going to ruin that. So I have over on YouTube going right now, I have the full size one like this, right? The horizontal one. And then I have the shorts, which is this one. The shorts is over on a different channel. I would like to get it some more viewership over there and help promote it out to the algorithm, even if you guys over on there aren't going to watch it over there. So what I want to do is redirect for a portion of the live, the end of it, so that there's viewership over there, so that it helps push that out, because there's very few concurrent viewers and it's going to take a while to build that up. So I want to try and expedite that process. Anyway, that's all. Also, there's the news, by the way. If you guys missed the news, we're going to start doing that news roundup. We'll make it a little bit shorter for you. Probably go 10 to 15 minutes or something like that. I mean, obviously, there's going to be bigger stories to talk about. And because we were at 30. But those will be put over onto OK High, which is in the link tree in the bio. You guys can go check out and sub over to. So there's that. And I think it's coming along really pretty well. I think it's coming along pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah, what is I need 4,000 hours to monetize, I think. We're slowly getting it up over there. That's what she said.
Yeah.
I need 4,000 watch hours, and I'm at 500 before I can monetize. And then that way, when I post news over there, it'll be beneficial. So if you guys want to watch news content, head over to OK High. It's going to be coming out on a daily. We're going to record it in here and send it over. If y'all are debating, go ahead and hop in the box. Yeah, that'd be cool. If you guys want to double tap the screen, comment, interact, see if we can get some people in here, that'd be cool. And yeah, I think I'm going to redirect over onto, and hopefully it works, redirect over onto the short. It'll still be in a horizontal form like this, but TikTok will send it out to both places. And it should send it out on the short side, but if you guys are watching and it's redirected, it should be different. So, does anybody want to gift subs before I do that?
Let's see here. People are asking why Dems voted against impeachment. Probably because it wouldn't be effective.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't be effective. It wouldn't go anywhere. I do want to point this out. There's now videos up over on YouTube. So I have it coming out. I have them scheduled every day. I haven't had any debates today, but if I, like one day last week, I had four in the same day. So 3 altogether. And so those are just getting uploaded and everything's getting sorted. It's a lot of work. I'll be real with you. It's a lot of work to figure out and get everything out, but I am doing it. So if you guys want to support, by all means, sub.
Yeah.
Just give me a second here. All right, I'm gonna redirect everyone over onto the YouTube over onto the short side, so that I can try and boost that out and get that out to people, so that we can hurry up and get monetized. So.
Alrighty. It's only 7:20.
Anyone want to super chat? Because once I move everyone over, you're not going to. So if you want to support the sub goal, now's your chance to do it. I'm really hoping that this will expedite the process of getting this out on the For You page. That's my hope. So.
Fingers crossed. Who's this?
All right.
Oh, MAGA. Hello?
Yo, what's up?
How's it going?
No, wait, is this guy?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on one second. Don't start yet. Wait. Don't start yet. Hold on. All right, I'm going to move over after this debate, because I don't want to run into any issues. So give me 1 second. All right, what's going on? What's your take?
I just got invited up, but what's the... you think Trump is running?
We applaud adult literacy here.
Yeah,
Is
he
this
is
the guy
running.
that wanted to talk to me about? Are you the guy that wanted to talk to me about colognes or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Why?
Second. I don't know.
Because like I was telling him about something, and then he was like, "Oh, I know parfums from Marley." And then we were just talking about that.
Okay. Interesting.
Bro.
Anyway, so what's
why
going
people-
on? What's your take today?
Trump is running the country.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
So we have the background. You think Trump is running this country?
Yeah.
Why
the
is
president.
why is Trump's running the country?
Yeah, he's the president.
Are you sure? Because it was Elon for a minute.
Elon never went. He never ran.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of the concerning part.
Why?
I know. That's why. Yeah, he
That
was
he
in.
never
control.
ran
Why?
for president and was granted that much oversight into private data information.
What's the percentage of Trump's policies were Project 2025 again? Wasn't like 60% or something of everything he's done was in Project 2025?
62.
Is that the number? Okay. Well,
Yep.
thanks for the correction.
Wait, was I right?
Probably.
I don't know. Was it? I just made it up.
What? I was right.
Yeah, it's a high percentage though. So is he running the country or are they? I'm confused.
His heritage.
Well, I mean, Donald Trump's the president.
But you said that about Biden, that even though he was president, he wasn't running the country, right?
No, Biden was running the country. He was the
Oh,
president.
okay.
Is there any else? Is there anybody else requesting?
No, if you'd like to leave, you may.
Are you good?
No, I was just wondering if there is, because I wanted someone to help me out.
You need help with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, what's up, Paige?
Why did Trump lie about Project 2025?
Hi, Paige. He didn't lie.
I mean, he did. He said that wasn't his plan. And then, as per your own comment a moment ago, he's implemented some 65% of its agenda.
Where's your proof?
You said that.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
I was just making up a number because he said 60.
Oh, well, it's accurate.
I thought he made a number. I think it was accurate though. Percentage of
I know my stuff.
project. Oh, there's a
tracker
tracker.
website. Yeah.
They're tracking it, but I don't know if they show a percentage. 42% of Project 2025 has been implemented, and I think it's it's like 60% or something like that. It's high. 42% of it's been implemented though.
Yo, guys, I'm gonna let you guys have a productive debate. I mean, I'm just
No.
I'm not
come
even.
on, stay. Sit your ass down.
I mean, I'm not even having a productive debate. I mean, I'm just
It's all
here.
right. We got other people in the box. That's cool.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Let's get some. We got MAGA. MAGA.
Again?
Another MAGA. It's like they're twins. What's up, MAGA?
What's up?
What's going on? What's your take?
I mean, really just the war and everything. I really just support Trump for doing what he did against Iran and everything like that.
What's that?
He almost said a rock. He almost said a
I know.
rock. Sorry.
What'd you say? So funny.
It's not important. What?
You're gonna steal my
Oh,
lunch
funny.
money?
I thought you told a joke. You didn't tell a joke?
No.
Oh, okay. How old are you?
How old did you say you were?
22.
Ooh.
Okay. Anyway, so you support Trump and what he did. Why? What do we get out of it?
Peace.
They kept bombing afterwards.
The ceasefire.
Has
For
that stuck?
now,
That started. Yes, it has.
there was also a
Okay, given his
ceasefire in Gaza when he
Right,
took
I was
over.
about to say.
So
Given his track record, how confident are you that a ceasefire that he's negotiated will hold?
It will rule. I promise you that.
Is there one with Israel?
Look at
Excuse me, is there
how-
one with Russia and Ukraine?
No, because he never called one for them.
Yeah, he did.
What is your source?
Here, pull it up.
yeah, I was gonna pull it up. I was saying it's pretty clear.
Never called one with them.
Yeah, he did.
No,
yeah,
he didn't.
He did absolutely.
Right
call.
here,
Yes,
May
he did. He called
19th.
yeah.
Trump, this is so fucking funny. Trump says Russia, Ukraine agree to immediate ceasefire talk. Kremlin offers no timelines. So,
What website is that?
this is Reuters, May 19th. Trump said after his call on Monday with President Vladimir Putin that Russia and Ukraine will immediately start negotiations for a ceasefire.
It's a fucking lie.
His words are a lie. Here's a quote. Russia and Ukraine will immediately start negotiations toward a ceasefire and, more importantly, an end to the war, Trump said, adding later that the White House and he thought some progress is being made.
What website is that again?
What? This is
Thanks for the
muffled.
gift. Thanks for the gifts, everyone.
You got 2 coins, but do you want to acknowledge that?
Are you transgender?
Why? You think I'm hot?
No, you look transgender.
Okay. Do you want to stay on the topic?
I mean, do you want to switch to my topic?
You want to switch my gender, apparently, but I
No,
wanted
I
to stay
don't.
on this, that
I
Donald
never
Trump
said
has had a
I never
terrible...
I never asked to switch your gender.
Shut up.
Actually,
You made the
but
claim
stop
that
saying
you
if you would
believe...
have heard me, I made the claim that I asked the question and said that, are you
Okay,
transgender?
what relevance
Answer my
is it,
question.
bro? Were you wrong or were you right?
Was I right? Yeah, answer it.
But I did. That he called for a ceasefire with Russia and
No,
Ukraine.
answer. Are you transgender?
I already did.
What? Yes or no?
So my voice is deeper than yours. What does that tell you?
I'm
man?
gonna be honest.
Why are you
I don't want
obsessed
to
with
get
that? What
derailed
relevance
off
is it?
this. So if we can go back to the topic we were on, by the way,
trying
really
to.
quick. What year were you born?
2003.
Yesterday.
Huh?
2003.
Okay,
What?
that's all. Sorry, can we go back to the
I'm just
topic
immature
of
for your
Iran?
age.
That'd be cool. Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody over. Can we go back to the topic of Iran? We're debating Iran a lot.
Yeah. The initial
okay.
question was, how confident are you that a ceasefire would hold, given his track record of failures within that regard?
Not confident.
Okay. So you don't believe a ceasefire would hold between them,
Probably not.
but you just argued that it's a peacekeeping strategy.
Whoa.
All right. Tommy, you got
Are
anything?
you okay?
What?
Apparently he thinks I'm a woman.
Maybe India. Do you have anything else to add to the Iranian topic?
Okay, what's your reason and why you support Donald J. Trump?
You can read, right?
Kamala.
I often mix those
It's
two
a
up.
weird
The
troll.
similarities are uncanny. Yeah, is this guy actually debating, man?
Yeah, I just asked you a question.
This is just weird.
Can you go to a debate? Because everybody here is getting bored. Or to talk
Yeah, I
about
just
something
asked you.
else.
Did you not just hear me? I just asked you. Who did you vote for?
Harris.
Kamala.
Okay, for what reason?
Because she's more competent.
Literally all of them.
Can you define competent?
Yeah, level-headed, steady, professional, understands
Professional.
the scope of the job. Yeah, she's professional.
Professional.
Donald
She
Trump
didn't even
threw
show
out
up
an
to the dinner.
expletive
You
today.
know the dinner. You know the dinner. What was the dinner? I can't remember it, but
What
she didn't.
are
even
you
show up to
talking
the
about? The dinner?
There was this dinner that she didn't show up to. There was like a comedian there, and then she was
Who
the
cares? Yeah, the Al Smith dinner.
First president. Yeah, first president in like
She's not
40
president.
years. Or first vice president in 40 years.
Why does that matter?
Or upcoming.
Okay, why does it matter?
Why does that matter?
why does that
Donald Trump
matter?
did not
Trump
sit through
didn't go
any
to
of the White House press dinners.
But
Not
that
one.
wasn't that. Those weren't that important. As this
That's
dinner.
tradition. This isn't important. A roast?
You didn't even know what the Al Smith dinner was before a fucking Russian bot put it on your For You page. I had no idea.
Hey, who's YouTube?
What?
Who's this other guy? YouTube. The bottom of the call.
That's
what are you talking about?
This is frustratingly bad.
Oh, wait, that's
I don't know.
This is Duty.
Man, this is sad.
All right.
Bro, do you not see your profile picture?
Anyway, that was
something.
Okay. That was a thing. Definitely a thing. Anyway. Goodness gracious.
Anywho. Did Cuomo concede?
Fun.
I haven't seen it yet.
I don't know.
See, he congratulated it.
This is just okay. One second. All right, so if you guys are over on YouTube, we're going to redirect over to the other one. Make sure you have your there'll be either a button that you click that'll say going over to my dude, or make sure you have the autoplay on and it'll redirect you. And that should be like right down below next to the closed captioning on the option bar. We're gonna redirect because I'm gonna try and get some viewership over on YouTube.
Yeah, the other channel. Is that what we're doing?
Yep. So we're gonna redirect that, and if you guys want to sit tight, you're just gonna go right over the other video. I'm just trying to get some viewership over there so that I can pull that up. Last call on subs. If anybody wants to support the subs, now would be the time to do it, because once we go over, it's not going to be done. So I don't think we're going to reach the goal. But if you guys want to support, would appreciate it. I'm going to swap over in just a minute, and then we'll be good. By the way, you can sub over on Twitch too, if you guys want. So anyway, let me get the chat back up for you. There won't be a chat over on the other one, by the way. I'm just going to do, by the way, I'm not going to do this all the time. I'm just going to do this right now because I'm trying to get some people over there for viewership. So give me a second.
And if you guys would like to support the show, there are Venmo Cash Apps in our bio there. Okay, we're back. We were off yesterday, but we're back today. So your support goes a long way.
Jay,
and it's Pride Month.
Appreciate the sub. Jay, appreciate the sub. Thank you. Can we get some dubs for that? We got 11 now. I'm just keeping it tall right there. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the sub. Nice. We got 11 out of 30. All right. And the redirect, people should be redirecting over here now. Did they all redirect? Nice. Nice. I'm just trying to give it a little boost. A little boost. If you guys want to, by the way, in the link tree in the bio is the OK Hi YouTube. Head over there and go do that. It's hot. It's muggy.
Yeah.
Lydia, appreciate the 5 gifted. Thank you. Lydia, can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat with the 5 gifted? Got 16 out of 30. If you guys are over on YouTube and they can't sub right now because we're moving over to the other thing. So no, there is. I have AC. I have a window AC unit, so it's loud. What was that?
Seems like Cuomo has congratulated Mom Donnie tonight. Says that the night's his, not Cuomo's, and I'm gonna take that as a concession. Good. Back to the crypt you go. Ugh. Anywho, what else is going on tonight? How's everybody doing? A good night? Pretty good day? Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, we got Michelle in the box. I don't know if they're debating. But yeah, if you guys are over on the YouTube, hit that like button. Interact. Help get some people in there. Would appreciate it. Really blow up the short side.
Oh,
it should just be vertical now. It's the only thing. Michelle, hello.
Hello. All right. Don't think she meant to join.
Have I thought about a green bed sheet to display your background on YouTube? So I actually can, right here. But there's a problem. Wait, actually, there's not one over there. Hold on. I can. And I can do it on the other one too. But if I'm recording, it's difficult. Also, I can't control when people come up and do weird shit. And if it happens on TikTok, it's on them. If it happens on YouTube, it's on me. So there's nothing really to see over there anyway. It's the TikTok chat, which is cool and all, but ultimately it gets in the way of the chat over there. So I can't do it. Yeah. Lydia, appreciate the 5 gifted. Thank you. Get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat. I said, but Tommy doesn't talk to us. I got a lot of chats. I'm bouncing between them. And a lot of times during the night on Twitch, there'll be like one comment that comes in every 30 minutes. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know? Nothing. I'm just changing the settings here really quick. I found that by complete accident.
Gotta fill some space here.
Oh, I found it.
What'd you find? Well,
miss updating the preferences. Where is it?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, we got one in the box. Stephanie.
And also, by the way, the nice part is if you guys are over on YouTube Shorts, I can redirect you to news clips and videos over there, which would be nice. Because then, like, you know, you guys can go over there and watch it, help boost up the channel or whatever. That'd be good. That would be good.
Hello.
Stephanie, hello. How's it going?
What's up?
Hey. I'm not sure if you talked about this tonight or not, but did you guys see the post that Trump had about AOC?
God, what a rambling inane mess that was.
Yeah, it's
I don't
horrible.
know why he put in quotation marks dumbest, which would imply that she's the smartest.
Oh. Yeah.
Dumbest.
I'm gonna find it. This is actually really fucking stupid. Let me find this.
And then actually,
Right
I just read AOC's response. Did you see that?
No, I haven't.
I have no way to read it to you right now because otherwise I'll be off of it. But the app. But I don't know if you can find it real quick.
Oh, I think this is it. It's a video response. Is that it?
AOC, no.
Oh. I don't know. I can't find it yet. What is this? Let me check.
I just saw it on Instagram, her Instagram story, so.
Hey, Power, appreciate the sub. Thank you for the sub. We got 18 out of 30. Appreciate it. Thank you for the sub over there. Can we get some dubs? Appreciate it. Thank you, Power.
She says, Mr. President, don't take your anger out on me. I'm just a silly girl. Take it out on whoever convinced you to betray the American people and our Constitution by illegally bombing Iran and dragging us into war. It only took you 5 months to break almost every promise you made. That's it.
That's a great idea.
Not bad. It's pretty
yeah,
good read.
she's great.
Yeah. I'm going to read his batshit crazy post in a moment here.
I was just about to ask you if you could read it in his voice.
No problem. All right. Thanks for coming up here, Stephanie.
Thank you.
All right. Let's take a look at the soon-to-be historic quotes entered into the presidential archives here. Stupid AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, one of the quote-unquote dumbest people in Congress, is now calling for my impeachment, despite the fact that crooked and corrupt Democrats have always done that twice before. The reason for her rantings is all of the victories that the USA has had under the Trump administration with a capital A. The Democrats aren't used to winning, and she can't stand the concept of our country with a capital C being successful again. When we examine her test scores with a capital T and S for some reason, we will find out that she is not qualified for office, nevertheless far more qualified than Crockett, who is a seriously low with a capital L IQ individual, or Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country, capital C, yet the failed country, with a capital F and C, that she comes from doesn't have a government, capital G, is drenched in crime. Why does he capitalize random ass words? I can't keep doing this.
I know.
Crime is
I talk about it all
capitalized
the
in
time.
poverty? The fuck? Stop. And is rated one of the worst in the world, if it's even rated at all. How dare the mouse tell us how to run the... The mouse? The fuck? How dare the mouse tell us how to run the United States of America? We're just now coming back from that radical left experiment with Sleepy Joe, Kamala, and the auto pen with quotation marks in charge. What a disaster it was. AOC should be forced to take the cognitive test that I just completed at Walter Reed Medical Center as part of my physical. As the doctor in charge said, quote, President Trump aced it, meaning I got every answer right. Instead of her constant complaining, Alexandria should go back home to Queens, where I was also brought up, and strengthen out her filthy, disgusting, crime-ridden cities in the district she, quote-unquote, represents, and which she never goes to anymore. She better start worrying about her own primary before she thinks about beating our great Palestinian senator, crying Chuck Schumer, whose career is definitely on very thin ice. She and her Democrat friends have just hit the lowest poll numbers in congressional history, so go ahead and try impeaching me again. Make my day. That was long. Even for his standards, a long, batshit, crazy-ass statement. The fuck?
I mean, yeah.
Crazy.
He really is like who? Like, why have we normalized this?
Right. Presidents don't talk like this.
Why have we normalized
picking
this?
fights with members of Congress?
Yeah.
I mean, even the Johnson treatment was just he leaned over you. This shit, Trump is leaving paper bags full of dog shit on your fucking door and filming it. It's crazy.
Oh, God, he's that shit crazy.
Stop. I would spray him every time he drives home if he was my neighbor. Hey, Trump, surf's up. Stop it! Come on,
Leave
it's hot.
it alone. You're
Cool
making
down.
the orange
Come
drip.
on.
The orange is dripping. Make it stop dripping.
You look a little hot, Trump. Yeah, all boxed up in that suit. Come on, there you go. No, wrong. You're so nasty for that.
You're so nasty, it's true.
You ever see those AI images of Trump with like normal hair?
No.
You ever see those where they give him like a normal haircut, a taper fade, or just like a basic regular human hair? And it's
Trump
like
with a
he
taper
does this
fade,
shit by
actually.
choice. Yeah, there's a picture of that.
Trump with
But
the
he does
taper
this
fade
by
is actually
choice.
Crazy.
He looks bad on purpose for some reason, and I don't understand that. No one wants that. You think Biden ran the
No.
country? It wasn't good. How many protests broke out when he was president? Besides people bitching about masks?
We have to wear a mask. God, like the level of oppression they must feel from wearing those masks is crazy.
Great. But never mind
Crazy.
U.S. citizens being deported. That's
never
okay
mind
with
that.
us. Yes.
Never mind that.
That's okay.
Sorry, I'm
Children
just
with
losing
brain
this.
cancer? Duh, get them out of here.
Nah, come on, come on, be real.
You think I'm going to
Let's
use
be
my
real
Second
about
Amendment to
that.
defend that?
No.
Wrong.
Wrongo.
Wrong again.
Wrong again. Shoot. All
This was a
right.
lot
Josh.
later than it is. Oh, hey, Josh. Hello.
It's just me.
It's
Hey.
just Josh.
It's just me. So hey, did you guys hear what Under the Desk News is coming out with?
What? Oh, was it the migrant story I read?
No. They're talking about she's pulling up out of Project 2025 why Donald Trump is bombing Iran.
Who?
She says it's all laid out in 2025, and they specifically said they're going to utilize the Israeli military to do so, specifically for natural resources, oil and so there's a chemical, or not a chemical. There's a metal. It's a rare earth material that's called antimony, and it's used to harden. Yeah, it's used to harden weapons. It's also used in they do solar panels. We use quite a bit of it, right? China said they're not selling it to us anymore, and they just found 7 tons of it in Iran.
Oh,
So,
convenient.
Yeah, so apparently
7
6
tons?
months
That
ago,
doesn't-
7 tons of it, I believe. Was it more than
7,000
that?
metric tons. Yeah, 7,000 metric tons. I was
7,000.
like 7. That's
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
7,000 metric tons. I thought it sounded like I would expect more than 7,000 even, right? I don't know. That's hard to picture in my head, I think. But anyway, so China says they're not going to sell this to us anymore. Iran announced this 6 months ago, and apparently we made an offer when Donald Trump first came in. We made an offer to take portions of Iran when this happened. Like they wanted, I don't know. It was part of, and Iran was like, "No, that's not happening. That's not even close to happening. Why would you even ask this of us?" And he wanted to sell it off to privatized companies to mine the materials.
They said 7,000 metric tons of antimony reserves. I'm going to be real. I don't see enough. Yeah, I don't see it. They've announced 7,000 tons, but China's producing 40-something thousand tons a year, which means that's that's Iran's entire reserve. Right, but the entire reserve, 7,000 metric tons, is not a lot. 40,000 tons of
That's what I was
antimony.
thinking.
But I think
It sounded low. But it's also laid out in
Reserves.
2025. Not this rare earth material specifically, but the invasion of Iran is literally laid out in 2025.
Surprise.
which countries, because this could matter. Oh, this is great. So China, Russia, Bolivia, Kyrgyzstan, Australia produces. This is their reserves. So those 4 countries, Kyrgyzstan, I guess we could export, but that'd be really dependent on Russia. Australia produces 140,000, or they have 140,000 in reserves. Turkey has 100,000. Canada 78. United States 60,000. Tajikistan 50,000. These are proven reserves. So 7,000 is not that much, but it is definitely something. It kind of brings my thought on this, like, we don't have the antimony reserves. And by the way, antimony, I don't know that much about antimony mining, but I do know a little bit. And there's a mine in the Midwest somewhere that they've been trying to build right on the Canadian border. People in that town have stopped it, for obvious reasons. And it's one of those things where, like, it's very toxic because of the chemicals that coincide with it. And it's detrimental to the environment. So people aren't really wanting to do that. But there are reserves in the United States that they're working on, but antimony is one of those rare earths that requires more, because there's like other stuff like germanium it's like wafers like this big, and they're, they'll, like, China will produce like 10, 5 tons a year. like it's not, you don't need very much. But this is one of those ones where I think you need enough. And it really makes me think, like, are they going to go... We've got to go to an asteroid, right? That's the obvious solution here, right? Is that we're going to have to intercept an asteroid? Like,
Yeah.
we don't have enough,
Yeah,
right?
let's just pull that bitch towards us, please.
You know? Because I know that they've been talking about it for a while. But, like, when you get down to rare earth and it being rare earth, like, we're going to have to find another source. Especially with antimony. Because it looks like right now, China holds the largest antimony reserves, 640,000. They have, what, 12 years of antimony if they're producing at the similar rate? They have 12 years of antimony?
My understanding is it's what
And
we
then a
use
lot
to
of the-
harden
a lot of the other
like,
stuff-
tanks, right? Sorry.
I didn't know it's used in... I think it's used in... I don't know, defense systems and stuff. So, yeah. It's like recycling and stuff. I don't know. That's interesting. It does feel
I
like
don't
a
know. I
critical
just
moment,
became an
though, but we
expert
have
in
to-
antimony in Iran yesterday, so...
Yeah, I don't think they have enough. Now, that being said, if they did find 7,000 metric tons of reserves, there's probably more. Where you would find it from, I don't know. But you notice, like, there's really, like, this, like, something else? Food for thought. Are they debating? I'm going to clear it because I don't know if they're debating. I don't know if the other people are, too.
All right.
There's... What were we talking about? Fuck. Shoot. We're talking about antimony. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so there's like this real, very real... how do I explain this? There's a very real deal with countries that have very little political power, very little geopolitical power. And this plays into like a larger theme. They are finding that they have rare earth, right? And so obviously more advanced countries want to exploit that or at least use it. And it's allowing for countries that otherwise would have relatively little influence, power, whatever, to suddenly start having an inordinate, right? So now this is the interesting part because we destabilized a lot of countries so that we could reap the benefits, right? You think about pretty much all of Africa, most of the Middle East, most of Central Asia, and we tried to do the same thing with the Pacific Rim, and we've done this, right? Now that we've destroyed those countries and pillaged their resources, we have something else that we need from them, right? That they now have this control over, whether it's Afghanistan with the significant amount of lithium that they found there, or the various different mines throughout those hills, whatever it is, right? They're trying to build infrastructure to pull this out, and these countries are now having an inordinate amount of power. And the United States is going to these countries and trying to establish relationships, as is China. The problem is the United States was very exploitative in its past, and the way that it treated countries and how it monopolized their public resources, and really didn't give anything back. And now we're in a situation where we need resources from them. They don't trust us. The obvious answer is China, and China is offering them better terms. So the United States is losing. And on top of that, China has a monopoly on the separation tech for rare earth, a full-blown monopoly. We don't, like, right now we have germanium, and there's another one that we use for semiconductors. You don't need very much of it, a few tons a year, right? Like 20 tons. It's not very much at all, just these wafers. And we don't have the ability to get them. We have no ability to get them. China is the only supplier because we neglected this. So we're in a real bad predicament, and we put a dipshit in office to try and deal with it. And it's going to be a complete failure. China's already winning. I think they've already won, to be honest with you. But here we are. So, what was I going to say? But yeah, it's sort of creating this new power struggle, this new power balance. Like Saudi Arabia's, their power came from, Saudi Arabia's power came from their oil, right? Easily accessible, easy to refine oil. And now the world's moving away from that. They're trying to reinvent themselves as this broker in the Middle East. And a lot of countries are doing that. So it's creating this weird change, this weird power dynamic change that's happening really rapidly. And it's leading to an incredible amount of investment in these countries. Sorry, I wanted to pull this up. Sorry, go ahead. Do we have someone in the box?
Do we?
We have another MAGA account in here, but I think it's just one of those other kids.
Send him in.
Well, not kid, but...
Short work.
Yeah, they're all friends. That's why he said have somebody else come up here. He was talking about that guy. It's his buddy.
Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna do that. Really weird. Did one of them use a slur earlier?
No, that wasn't a MAGA account. That was a guy that had an old white man as a profile picture.
Oh.
Yeah, man. A lot of those countries over there, Qatar, Dubai, that's how like they were up until what, the 1930s, 1940s when they discovered oil. They were pretty.
Hello.
Like I don't know.
A woman from
Brooke,
MAGA?
appreciate the $1. Thank you, Brooke.
A woman from MAGA.
Appreciate it.
A black woman?
This feels like a voice changer.
I'm mixed, but sure.
The betrayal. All right, well, what's up?
I just want to know, why
betrayal.
do you like Kalama so much?
Yeah, this is fucking shit-ass trolling.
What?
It's not good.
You heard me.
Yeah, it's horrible. Think that's a voice changer?
Anyway.
No?
No, she was a woman.
I don't know. Could be. These voice changers are getting crazy.
Yeah. Just take voice acting classes
Yeah.
like me.
Yeah. The betrayal's
The
crazy.
easy way. Yeah.
Can you do a woman's voice?
So I just
Hello.
figured this
Yeah.
out. I can't. Hello. Hi.
Don't, Jesus
$2 a
Christ.
minute. $2 a minute.
Hang up.
Hey.
Wait, you want me to do the
Hi.
bingo hall? Wait, hi. My name's
Stop it,
My name's
So she says to me, Marge, you gotta quit smoking.
Oh dear.
I do that, but I'm double fisting it, honestly. So, got one in each
smoking
hand.
out of the hole in your neck.
Sounds like Hubert. No,
Wazowski.
Hubert sounds. Wait. Listen here, you little son of a bitch. You don't call me back now. Second.
I used to do a Herbert, but it made me feel weird saying that shit.
If you don't call me back now. Hey, Chris,
got some candies in my pocket.
My voice is not having it today. Hey, Chris, you like popsicles?
That's real
I got a whole cellar full of popsicles. Jackpot. Anyway, I got this user person. They were in here already.
That's suspicious.
Okay.
I think I talked to them. I'm going to start the thing here. What's going on? What's your take? User? Oh, this is the one guy. He keeps coming back in to
How can you
talk and it
tell?
doesn't work.
Oh.
Because the 5-3 at the end.
Ah. Hello?
Okay, that's the only video I need right there, I think. Don't need that. Yeah, that's the only one right there. Like, dude, there's so much like Josh knows. He's been doing work. There's so much,
Was that
like juggling of videos.
I've been having fun. It ain't work.
What?
I've been enjoying it.
What?
I did some more edits. You should check them out. They're pretty good.
Okay.
Like that Iran bombing
Yeah, when
one.
I guessed that Trump was gonna, because I guessed that Trump was gonna bomb him the other day, and then he did, like a day later. Pretty accurate. I was like, yeah,
4
probably.
hours later.
I didn't really see how he was gonna avoid it. We talked it all up. Okay, let's let this guy in. This is our. Why don't you know this guy's name?
Who was it?
I don't even know this guy's name, but
Let me see.
let him
Oh,
up. They've
this
been up
person?
here a few different times. I don't want to talk about Iran. Pick something else, please, for the love of God. Hello.
How's it going?
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color?
Blue. You?
Wrong. No, I'm just kidding. That's good. It's a good choice. Anyway, so what's going on? What's your take today?
I was just gonna say, like, she wants to fuck with Japan. I put the chrome on the bends, right? So.
Yeah, he said
she
this
reached
last
down
time.
to my pants. She got the world in her hands.
Uh huh.
So, like, what does that mean?
Is that a dwarf star?
It's a song.
No, he said he got the world in his hands. It's like a dwarf star.
No, she's got the world in her hands. She put her hand on my pants.
She's got the
She's got the world in her hand.
she has the dwarf star in her hands. Yes.
So what happened?
It's like Pluto.
So what exactly happened?
No, Planet X. Sorry, what happened?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just wondering what you're on. And not Iran. It's a dad joke.
You were
Anyways,
on.
you have a
You started rambling. I didn't ramble.
Don't laugh. Don't
He's
laugh.
quoting
Don't
Frank
laugh at my
Ocean.
joke. Not until you show me respect.
Anyways, Jaden's supposed to be my
Anyway,
best
you
buddy.
got a debate?
Who are you?
How are you doing tonight?
It's better about 2
Are you
minutes
guys
ago.
friends
Sir,
with
how much
Donald
have you had
Trump
to
yet?
drink this morning? How much have you had to drink? What?
Do you support Donald Trump yet?
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
What's he
changing
done
it
he
all?
done?
to improve that?
You guys still don't like him?
Has he strengthened relationships with the LGBTQ community?
He's done it all.
Well, we were told he's done it all. We were told that he was the first president that was pro-LGBTQ, and I'm just curious, has that gotten
Yeah,
better?
he is.
He is?
Yeah.
So why did he gut the National Unaliving Hotline from access to the Trevor Project?
Because the funds are being misused.
How do you know that?
They know that. That's what
Okay, how were they misused?
You don't? You just
They were
you just
going to where
blindly
they weren't
believe it like a
supposed to go.
sheep?
That's not even what they argued, by the way. But if you have some extra information that somehow we don't and the administration doesn't, then
But
lay it on us.
I can explain to you how he's helping the community.
Wait, but I asked about the Trevor Project. You understand what that is, right?
Yep.
Tell me.
Again, it was a hotline you said, which helped people call in for suicide prevention, which he cut. I agree. He cut.
Right. Why do you disagree? Why do you agree with that?
Because I'm saying the funds were being misused.
Okay, based on what?
That's what they said.
Who's they?
Trump administration.
So you just blindly trust them on that?
They're the administration.
So you blindly trust the government on that?
That's a yes. That's a yes.
Well, they found there's funds being misused, so they shut it down.
Okay, and where
Why
did
is
they
this so
find
hard?
that? Where did they find that, and how were they being misused? If you say that somebody's misusing a garden hose, then one would surmise that they're doing something that's beside gardening with it, like tying it around their neck or some shit.
And again, how he's helping the LGBTQ, especially the T part, trans community, is trans is considered gender dysphoria, which is
No, it's not.
DSM-5.
It's actually not. Well, you're
The
wrong.
DSM-5.
So
Yes,
it's
it
not
is.
considered gender dysphoria, nor are those terms synonymous, and the DSM-5 does not equate the two.
It does.
How did we get here?
So I have a copy of the DSM-5, and you don't. So whatever you're saying next, I can already unequivocally say is false.
It's not false.
Well, you just said that trans is gender
Says it's a-
dysphoria, which it's not. That is not how they define
It says it's a
transgender.
mental illness. So,
So
why
no,
don't
they
we
don't.
help these people rather
So
than
they don't? Right.
rather
You
than
know what the
affirming their
prerequisite
illness?
treatment for being trans is?
So why don't we help these people rather than affirming their
Do
illness?
you know what that is? The help that they receive.
No, the help would be to get them comfortable within themselves and being
Okay,
who
so
they are.
what study would you have to
And
pull
not
from
telling them
that
they're
would
not something they're not.
say? What study do you have to pull from that would say that that's a more effective form of treatment than allowing them to transition?
Well, they have the highest suicide rates, don't they?
That's not what I said. That's not what I asked.
Yes, they do. So that
But
explains
okay,
it.
but that's irrelevant to the question.
So
It
it
doesn't
tells you
explain it.
that
I
affirming
mean,
it does not help their situation.
but you're ignoring key risk factors as to why they have a higher unaliving rate. And I'm saying if
Well,
your
blaming everyone
claim, just a
else?
second, let me finish. If your claim is that not supporting their transition would better their mental health, then what would you have to support that? I need a study. This is a correlation causation fallacy.
It's not.
Yep.
Well,
Would
it
this
is.
be post talk?
We've seen
Would
what's
this be
happened
post
by
Yeah.
affirming their
talk?
gender, and we see the suicide rates go through the roof.
So, have you at
And
all
we
bothered
could
to
maybe try
analyze
the other
key
way
risk
and help
factors?
them.
Have you
And
bothered? Have you bothered reading why they unalive at a higher rate?
there was a thing called tomboy phases and stuff people used
Can
to
you
go
stop
Yeah,
diverting to other
you need to
subjects?
stop, dude.
through. No, it's
Stop.
not a different subject.
Stop and
It's the
listen.
same
You
thing.
are doing
You
that.
stop
I
and
asked you a
listen.
very simple question. Have you analyzed, have you at all read why there's a greater degree of unaliving rates in the community?
You can't blame other people for your own
I'm just
unaliving.
asking, have you read?
Listen.
I didn't say blame.
Okay, let me simplify it for him. Okay, so you're doing a causation fallacy. I'm gonna try and speak in low words. You're doing a this didn't cause this problem. So you are pointing to the outcome of the policy. I forget what logical fallacy this is, but it is an established one. You
It's
are
an
pointing to the
ecological
policy
fallacy.
as the justification. It's an
It's an
ecological. Oh yeah,
ecological
no,
fallacy.
it's
Yeah.
environmental fallacy. Is it ecological or environmental? It's
They're
environmental
You can't even
fallacy.
remember
interchangeable.
what you can't even
Yeah.
remember.
Interchangeable.
They're interchangeable.
Yeah. Well, considering you can barely speak, we'll just go ahead and call that one even. But it's what's called an environmental fallacy, meaning that you're pointing to the outcome and using it to justify your logic. The outcome exists because of the way that people are treated, trans people and people in the LGBTQ community are treated in America. That exists because of that.
They're not treated
the other
any
way
differently than you and I, my friend.
Really?
So when we so listen. So when people go through like when they go through like those transitions or like, you know, whatever it is they go through, to simplify, there is a better outcome when it comes to those unaliving rates. So you can't point to high unaliving rates as reason for getting rid of those things, because those things have a correlational link to making better outcomes for unaliving rates. Was that too much?
They don't though.
Did you get it? No, they do.
Yeah, they don't though.
That's undeniable. And we can pull up studies for you too, by the way. They have better
don't.
outcomes when they go through those treatments.
They don't. They end up feeling
You want me to
terrible
pull up
about
studies? I
themselves
can
because
pull
they
up
know they
studies.
can
If you
never
say,
truly be what they want to be.
And
they end up
I just,
killing
do you want me
themselves
to pull the
anyway.
studies up? Okay, well, I'm going to pull up the studies, and then when you're wrong, you can admit you're wrong, or we can move on. So you're muted.
I've got one if he's ready.
Right here. Here is a meta-analysis, unaliving related outcomes following gender-affirming treatment. A review of the 23 studies that met the inclusion criteria, which is typical of larger studies. The majority indicated there is a reduction in unaliving following gender-affirming treatment. They do point out that there's a lack of literature to date, and there's a need for continued research, but do point out that the 23 studies indicate a reduction.
Who muted me in the comments?
Self-unaliving.
What?
I muted you.
Someone muted me in the comments.
I don't know.
Does that matter?
I'm your focus now.
That's silly.
Cool. Are you going to respond to what I just said? Jane, do you have a different study too? really
That I
lay it
do.
on
I
them.
have Williams Institute.
Dog pile them with studies.
No problem. This is from the Williams Institute. Unaliving thoughts and attempt among transgender adults points to specific key risk factors and increased risk factors as being linked to unaliving thoughts, such as laws and policies, anti-trans laws, familial rejection, lack of
What
social
anti-trans
support and
laws are there?
cohesion. Just a second. Well, there was just one recently of banning people under the age of 18 from receiving gender-affirming care in several states. But
Hold up, so you're
another
gonna
one being
mutilate
minority
children?
stress. One second. Increased risk of mental health problems, largely being associated with depression, things like isolation, poor job stability, and rejection of home life. Waiting for care and delays in gender-affirming care, such as hormone replacement therapy, can worsen health outcomes, amongst other things. So these are largely societally driven outcomes here, not just based on the simple premise that they're trans, but the atmosphere in which they are existing in is one that is not favorable to their identities.
Yeah, but guys, like, when you get to a point where you have to convince someone to not be comfortable in their own body to where the point they got to mutilate themselves,
It's not mutilation.
that's insane.
You understand the most common form
Hey,
of
can you
gender-affirming
not-
care is for cisgendered boys with gynecomastia
What is that?
when they grow breast tissue.
Okay.
Okay, and you're supporting a ban on that.
And how many people have that?
It doesn't matter. That is the
Next
most
to none?
predominant form of gender-affirming
it's
care
a-
in the United States.
We call that an abnormality.
But that ranks out the overarching reason as to why people get gender-affirming care.
God, there's no reason. And again, if your genitals have nothing to do with your gender identity,
It's not just
that is a
genitals, my
social
guy.
construct,
You're
then
focusing on
why
a
does-
you're
why does
focusing on a
removing it
minority
why does
outcome.
removing it affirm it?
Because you're focusing on less than 10% of people that actually get bottom surgery, when that is not even a most predominant form of gender-affirming care. Not even close.
So the other one is taking drugs. So you're
That
a
can
drug
be a
addict.
form of it, hormone replacement therapy.
Taking drugs, really.
You read a study a moment
You're
ago
gonna tell these people that for you to feel normal, you got to take drugs. That's insane.
wait, but you're concerned about the risk of them unaliving, right? And somehow fail to ignore that
No,
the
why not
reduction in
teach
that.
them
You
to
fail to
become-
ignore the reduction in
Why
risk
not
by
condition
allowing them
them
to
be
access
comfortable in their own
gender-affirming care
body,
versus
and then
not.
they would not have
Wait,
these
shut up.
thoughts
Listen,
of
unloaded. Your concern is about them unaliving, right? Or you don't care about that.
Correct.
Do you or do you not care about them unaliving?
I just said yes.
Okay, and are you not at all concerned about the fact that there's a higher risk of them unaliving with the lack of gender-affirming care versus access?
And I know why.
Okay, so you do support gender-affirming care because it reduces unaliving risk. Then what is the
No.
that's a fallacy then?
Because there's a better way to do it.
You haven't assessed that, nor have you provided any kind of quantifiable study that would suggest that your approach is better. Otherwise, it's just medical conjecture.
So take the suicide rates.
No. This is conjecture still. I don't need to measure rates unless you can provide a quantitative
Can you let me
study.
finish?
No, I don't have to because
Wow.
you've backed your opinion off of nothing. Besides a correlation
That's your
causation
opinion. I was
fallacy.
gonna get at something.
Well,
but
it's not. It is
don't
your
let me talk.
opinion because you cannot establish a causation here. You're going off of conjecture. Unless you can point to a meta-analysis, a medically backed study that would say that not allowing gender-affirming care yields better results, I don't have to listen to your argument. Can you do that?
So the rates were a lot lower back in the day.
Again,
than
I don't
they
give a shit. Give me the study. I already
Dude, you're
established
not
why they're
addressing
higher.
it.
I gave you the
Okay,
breakdown as
trying
to
to
why there's a
introduce
risk
something,
factors
and
associated.
you need to.
now.
You're trying to introduce something. You're trying to introduce something as a point, and you need to find a source for it.
This is casuistry.
So, if you could.
He left.
Any final thoughts on the debate, or are we all good with that?
I'm good with that.
Well, we got a couple of debates in at least. Diver Dan is not debating. I don't know if they meant to join, but let's see. Really quick, I could not reroute people over onto when I end the live. I can't redirect people to a video. I can only redirect them to a live. So I'm gonna post a video in the comment section on the way out, just so you guys are aware, over on YouTube Shorts. If you guys could watch it, or just put it on in the background or something, would appreciate it. It's on a playlist, so it should play through all of them. Trying to get up watch hours, but also get viewers up over there. So if you guys want to support, would appreciate it, because they're not gonna get very many views out the gate. So anyway,
that last guy was like a baby bigot.
Anyway,
he was just up here practicing his bigotry.
Yeah.
Just practicing.
Sad.
Trump is running this country with an iron fist, so autocracy. That's what you seem to love, not freedom.
He's running it with a
We did
damp
that one
mitten.
for a while. The economy's not destroyed yet. I'll just run this one. Oh, Diver Dan didn't mean to join. It's
Oh, he
it
left.
sort of feel like it's been really long. I didn't mean to join. It sort of felt like
I
it's been really
know.
long. Do we have? I mean, to be real, we got a lot accomplished today. Like, that's just kind of going to be the format. Really quick, if your list for the news stuff,
Oh yeah, I meant to message you
could
that.
you just send that? Yeah, just if you shoot it over, just like create a list and shoot it over, so I can take a look at it, so that I know what's coming up and what I need to look into, and yeah.
No
It'd
problem.
be nice if we could keep it to 10 or 15 minutes in a roundup would be good. Slowly putting everything in. I know Josh is like, it's not work, and that's fine. It hasn't been that bad. Like, I can't complain. There has been like a big learning curve, but a lot of what I've been doing over the last 2 weeks has been trying to figure out how I'm going to streamline everything. Been a lot of hiccups, but videos over on YouTube are coming out. I got some more debates tonight. But there are videos coming out over on both YouTube channels. So we've kind of worked the news into the live stream. If you guys miss it, the news will be over on OK High here going forward. Some nights Jaden won't be able to join. We'll cover some news stories regardless. And yeah. How do you track that news, by the way? You just create a list as they come in?
Yep.
Put them over on Instagram.
Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Can you DM me on Instagram, Corey? You can if you make it a premiere. Yeah, I didn't make it a premiere though.
So let me
the premiere's
rephrase what I
got to be
said.
like right after, right?
I say it's not work. That's just because I'm learning something new, and I'm retired. I don't have a kid to deal with and a bunch of other stuff going on. So like I'm just learning new things. That's why I find it fun. That's why I said that.
Yeah,
But it
I can't
is a
complain.
lot of work.
Like,
It's
I
like
have-
an hour and a half per video.
Yeah, I mean, I've had. Don't get me wrong. Like, to be honest, it's been really fun. Like 100% honest, it's been really fun to figure this all out and get it all flowing. Like, I haven't, like, it's just been tedious. And there's some times where it's like, oh God, and then I have to spend another 2 hours doing stuff because it messed up. I've streamlined it enough that I don't have that issue. Like, I have a rhythm of flow and everything, and it's going really well. But there's still some stuff that I want to do. Working in some of the other stuff that I need to do on a daily basis has been kind of an issue because I have so much. I've been trying to, get this all correct, and yeah.
Well,
I don't like the short video thing. Which short video thing? You mean like, on here? It's just for right now. It's just for right now because I'm trying to signal this to YouTube to go out onto the For You page. So, because it does take time to build up. And it'll probably take 2 or 3 months of constantly posting news videos on here before we get any real sort of viewership. But on the YouTube short side, should pick up pretty quickly. Hopefully. We'll see. Anyway. Do we have anybody that wants to hop in the box and debate? I do have some debates for tonight, so I'm pretty pumped about that. or do you guys want to call it? Because I don't have anything else.
We can call
Do
it early.
Go over. We can call it early, or yeah. Because I don't. Yeah, and by the way, the morning live, I sat down to go start the stream, and it was like there was no internet. It was bouncing and it was dropping out too. So that the fastest it got was 45 megabytes per second, which is half of what I need to stream. And it was dropping out to 25 and 9 at one point. So, yeah. But I'll keep you guys updated on the agency thing. I'm working through a lot of the stuff. I am on YouTube, but over on OK High in the link tree in the bio. Yeah. I'm going to post, if you guys are over on the OK High, or on the way out here even, if you want to go to the OK High in the link tree in the bio and go watch the video. This is the one I'm going to post here, by the way. How's the boy? He's great. He's with his mom on a mini vacay. I'm going to pin this video. If you guys on the way out want to pin, just let it run in the background or whatever. I really want to see if I can get some viewership. There's 130 people in here, so if 100 people do it, yeah. I can't pin the comment. There we go. But if 100 people do it, then it can start getting that flow. So if you guys on the way out want to catch up on the news, just want to play something back in the background, that's a fucking troll. No thanks. That guy never disconnected. I would appreciate it. But if you guys could head over to the YouTube, the OK High, not the YouTube, the OK High, because that's where we're going to be posting. I wanted to separate them based off news and debates, but over on OK High, if you guys could go watch some of the videos over there, like the first 3 I just started reposting again, and there's not a lot going on. So I have this guy, but I don't know if he's a troll.
Was it Gay MAGA? Porkoid? Let's add Gay MAGA. Should we add Porkoid?
Porkoid was here first. I got him. All right. What's going on? What's your take?
Okay.
Hey, let his mom in here to debate. That's nice.
Where's Gay MAGA at?
All right, I think we're going to call it for the night. I will be back on live tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific. I will see you guys there. Y'all are fantastic. Please go sub to Patreon on the way out, or at least go watch some YouTube videos. But I would support this, or would love the support on Patreon. Trying to rebuild back out the channel and doing a shit ton of work. So if you guys want to support in the interim, because it has been fucking nuts and crazy and not great, would appreciate it. Go head over to the Patreon. You can sub on YouTube. I think you can sub on TikTok after I get off live. But we're going to call it. So,
all right.
Everyone, I appreciate you guys for coming in.
You want to rate?
Yeah, you guys be safe. Have a good night.
Take care, Josh.
All right, take care. All right, everyone. I will see you guys tomorrow. Everybody over on YouTube, head over to that video if you guys would and watch it all the way through. It should be on a playlist. So, but I would appreciate it if I can get like 100 views. It's gonna help promote it out and beat that algorithm stuff. So yeah. But if you guys can do that, I appreciate it, and I will see you guys tomorrow.